What's going on? It's your boy Savage Woods, owner of SavageSoundLibrary.com, where I help monetized YouTubers protect their monetization and avoid copyright claims with royalty-free and copyright-free music. I specialize in chill house, chill hip-hop, chill drum and bass. Now, today, we're gonna learn about content ID. A lot of creators don't actually understand content ID. They might think it's random. They might think they're being targeted when it comes to these copyright claims that content ID will give them. It's not any of that. All it is automation. And as much as we love automation and as innovative as it can be, it is as much a part of the problem with content ID as it is the solution. Now, like I said, it's automated. So all it is audio fingerprinting is a good way to describe it. And understand that because it's automated, it does not care about your intentions with the music that you use that got you the copyright claim. It does not care about the specifics of the situation between you and maybe the producer that you're working with or whatever the situation might be, the website that you got the music from, or the YouTube producer that said you could use it, not understanding that they've registered their music with content ID, so it's going to give you an issue as the YouTuber, right? It doesn't matter that you credited the producer. Today, we'll be breaking everything down because when you understand the systems, you won't get blindsided with the copyright claims. Now, what content ID actually is? Content ID is YouTube's automated copyright detection system. So what it does is it scans every video that's uploaded to YouTube. And we know there's tons of videos being uploaded to YouTube on a daily basis. It goes ahead and it automatically analyzes the audio waveform, and then it compares that and matches it up against a database of songs that have been registered with YouTube's content ID system. Now see, that database contains a lot of registered copyrighted works. Now understand this, labels submit music to content ID. Distributors submit music to content ID. Publishers submit music to content ID. Independent artists submit music to content ID. Producers who put out their own music submit music to content ID. And so once this happens, the system creates a digital fingerprint, and that fingerprint is going to be unique to each track. So even if you do slight modifications to it, content ID can still detect. And for that same reason, it's why content ID can also mistakenly detect one thing for another thing. Content ID can be flawed. It can work very well at the same time. As a YouTuber, you want to avoid copyright claims made on content ID and a message from monetization. The video can get claimed, and then they can take all the revenue from your hard work. Now, understand this. There's no human that's watching your video and saying, oh, they got a good vibe. You know, they probably meant to use this music. Let's hit them up and see. Let's contact them and find out. No, this is botted, automated, artificial intelligence software that is automatically detecting the music. And that is the foundation of content ID. What is a copyright claim on YouTube? It's not a strike. A claim is not going to delete your channel. And it doesn't mean that you're in legal trouble either, but it does mean that ownership was detected. Now, the person who owns the rights to the music or material content, because you can also get copyright claims for, like some of these reaction videos, right, where you're using somebody else's content or whatever the case may be. They get to choose what happens next. And the thing is, they have some really interesting choices. So they can monetize your video. A lot of people tend to choose monetization. So that's what you can pretty much expect in a situation like that. That means that your revenue is going to go to them, like directly. Doesn't matter how well the video performed, none of that matters. You would lose all of it. And that's the big issue here. You got to understand too, somebody can give you permission, right? But if their song is registered with content ID and they don't understand that you need permission, then they may not understand that they need to whitelist your channel. And they may not work with a distributor who has the ability to whitelist your entire YouTube channel. Because a lot of distributors, well, let me take that back. One of the main distributors, DistroKid, does not allow you to do this. They only allow you to whitelist YouTube videos after the fact, after the copyright claim has occurred, which is defeating the purpose of what we're trying to do here, which is prevent copyright claims on our YouTube videos. Now, the thing is, a lot of new creators don't understand what's going on when they see the yellow $ in their YouTube studio for the copyright claim. They may start to panic, assume danger, but the reality is, the only thing that was happening is the system detected a match. It's really just simple. Now, I want to explain something here because these things are usually used synonymously. Royalty-free does not mean copyright-free. Royalty-free just means that you're not going to be paying royalties to the artist after you have purchased a license to use their record, their track, their music. The creator of that does still own the work. They can still monetize and distribute it. So understand that it wouldn't protect you from a copyright claim technically. Royalty-free doesn't necessarily mean that. On its own is what I'm saying here. So understand, royalty-free doesn't mean that somebody can't register with Content ID, okay? You can purchase a license, but they have to understand the Content ID side of things for it to be properly protecting your channel. Understand that licensing and Content ID are separate systems, and they don't talk to each other. And that's where the confusion is gonna begin for a lot of people, right? See, the license is gonna give you permission. Now, when you're monetized on YouTube, you do have the option to upload music licenses, and that's why it's important. However, Content ID is the platform that enforces the ownership of material. And if the person doesn't have you whitelisted, but they have the music registered with Content ID, then you're gonna get flagged. That's not YouTube being evil, it's just a process failure. There are things that need to be improved upon in this space. A lot of creators don't even read their licensing terms. They just buy stuff, download, and start using stuff. They assume royalty-free equals safe. It doesn't. Safe requires structure, additional structure outside of royalty-free. Now the thing is, royalty-free and copyright-free tend to be not one and the same, but they're usually paired together. Why? Because on YouTube, copyright-free means no Content ID claims. It's truly Content ID free, but copyright-free is an easier search term, and also royalty-free is as well. The thing is, you want royalty-free because you don't want to have to pay anybody on the back end. And you want copyright-free because you want somebody who understands the Content ID side of things. So, if you were to go to my channel, you would see a lot of royalty-free and copyright-free terminology in the titles of my videos, or in the descriptions, or in the hashtags, or the tags. If you go to the Savage Sound Library catalog channel, where I put the music, royalty-free, copyright-free, background music, safe for YouTube is somewhere on every video. And there's a reason for that, because I want people to understand that this is specifically designed to work for YouTubers. It is royalty-free like you want it to be, because you don't want to pay royalties later. And it is also copyright-free because you don't want Content ID issue. But just understand that not everybody who makes music understands this. And if they give you permission to use their music on YouTube, your YouTube, you still may run into issues unless they understand this. Sorry for being long-winded on that one. I just think it's extremely important. Now, if you're not ready for a subscription just quite yet, but you've been looking for chill, royalty-free, copyright-free, hip-hop or house or drum and bass music, head to savagesoundlibrary.com, enter your email, and I'll send you a discount code that will let you pick up to 10 tracks for $7. All right, it's a one-time usage code. That's 98.5% off, and it's less than the cost of coffee. And if you don't want 10 tracks, it's cool. You can select less than 10 tracks. It's still gonna be 98.5% off, so it'll be less than $7 if you select less than 10 tracks. Okay, so now let's talk about the digital fingerprinting process. When you upload the music to YouTube's Content ID system, it's automatically fingerprinted. It's based on a waveform. It analyzes the rhythms, melodies, etc., etc. Just understand that there's an algorithm. It's not listening to the music. It's just all numbers and data and analysis. It's all technology. And that's why false claims can happen. And that's also why claims that are actually supposed to happen and tend to happen quickly and reliably. Because when it's an accurate match, it's going to work really well. When it's an inaccurate match, however, that's a tricky, different situation. Now, understand that paying for a beat or paying for a song isn't enough. Many producers are going to distribute their music through aggregators. And by aggregators, I'm not even referring to just Spotify or any distributors that get your music onto the streaming services such as Spotify and et cetera, et cetera. I'm referring to even producers who run beat stores and sell beats to artists. Some of those beat stores have Content ID registration as well, because some artists tend to steal beats. And so that's a way that producers protect their beats. So once it's been registered in Content ID, those matches are going to become automatic. And I keep talking about the automation of this for a reason, because once you get claimed, bro, it's a whole process after. Even with proof of purchase, the algorithm does not see receipts. The producer has to manually clear you on the Content ID side of things. Some are going to forget, some are not going to respond. Hey, and don't forget that some producers quit making music. So you may not be able to get in contact with somebody down the line. Now you're over here chasing emails Meanwhile, your revenue diverted to whomever has claimed your video. And in that situation, it's probably the producer, unknowingly. But there are worse situations that do exist because we have intellectual property vultures, aka intellectual property thieves, okay, and bad actors in the space. Some people upload stolen music and they'll register it with Content ID through distributors. And it's funny because I just did a video on this about how somebody created AI music based on their music and then registered it with Content ID and then used it to claim their own music. So there's somebody out there that's doing that with people's music, and then there's going to be other people out there now that can do that with AI music. So you have to understand that once the system has fingerprinted something, it's a wrap. Now they appear as the rights holders. And when your video matches, they're going to claim it, even though they don't own it. This is a fraudulent claim, obviously. But what I'm saying is that it happens more than creators think. I know because it's happened to me. You dispute it, they delay, and then they just hope you give up. A lot of small creators are gonna give up. Some people are scared of strikes, copyright strikes. So they just kind of give up. And we want to prevent that because that's not fair. The system favors documentation. If you don't have structured licensing, you are vulnerable. If you don't have structured licensing, then you're vulnerable. And that's just the reality. Okay, now let me break down the difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike on YouTube. The good thing is there's something that you can do about both of these things. A copyright claim and a copyright strike are not the same thing. A lot of creators panic when they get their first copyright claim because they don't understand what's happening. See, claims are automated. It's based on the Content ID detecting music or content that is copyrighted. Copyrighted works. It's based on Content ID detecting the copyrighted works. A claim is really more focused on the revenue that is generated being redirected to its rightful owner. Now, a strike can come from repeated claims. At that point, they're requesting a takedown because they would feel like, oh, you're stealing something from them. Do you understand? Strikes are serious. When you get a claim, the video typically stays up. When you get a strike, the video is removed. It also places a penalty on your channel. I know, because I got a strike before. What a time to be alive. And that penalty starts off with your first offense being you cannot post for a week. You lose access to all activity on YouTube besides viewing. They're gonna let you do that because they gotta pay access to somebody else while your ass can't post. It's not funny, it's actually really fucked up. But yeah, YouTube operates on a 3-strike rule. So understand that your second strike gets you banned for 2 weeks from posting, and your third strike gets your channel deleted. You're out of there, bro. Now, strikes are the ones that count towards the deletion of your channel, not claims. But claims can get you set up in the direction of getting a strike, though. The problem with disputing a strike is, well, I don't know if it's a problem, but disputing a strike means you're gonna declare under the, well, actually disputing a claim does the same thing, where you're gonna declare under the penalty of perjury that like, you not BSing them and that you really own this, or that you have rights to this rather. It's a really serious thing, man. And the thing about it is, if humans were involved in every part of the process, then I would be a lot happier about this, right? And before I got into helping out creators with royalty-free and copyright-free music for their YouTube channels, when I was just on the artist side of it, you know, Content ID sounded like a cool thing. Oh, you know, if artists steal my beats, bam, I'm able to claim all the revenue. That's perfect in that scenario. But in this scenario, that's a different thing. Now, let me tell you what a lot of musicians and content creators don't know or understand. It's called whitelisting. You can whitelist videos and YouTube channels. It just depends on where the music was distributed from. Now, what that means is, what it means is you are allowed listing something. You are allowing something to use your music, okay? Now, what it literally does though, is it connects your YouTube channel ID to a licensed track or catalog, right? When it's done correctly, claims are automatically prevented. The thing about it is though, the rights holder of the music has to be the person that registers your channel ID with inside their Content ID. And just for clarification, Just for clarification, it's tied to your YouTube channel ID, not your email. So it wouldn't work in an email scenario. They have to have your YouTube channel ID for this. Bigger royalty-free websites tend to, they have employees that are handling this stuff on the back end. But regardless of who's taking care of it, they'll be able to release any claims that may occur, and they'll be able to automatically prevent any claims from occurring. And generally speaking, this happens when you have a subscription to royalty-free music libraries. Now, if somebody's manually releasing the claims one by one, that's cool at a small scale, but at a large scale, that breaks. You see, those larger royalty-free websites have those automated systems. That's why whitelisting is important, because it creates an automated system. Somebody enters it, and then it prevents claims. We don't have to go and release things later. It stops things up front. That's very important. Newer creators may tend to get flagged more, still learning the system, still trying to understand what's good music to use for your YouTube videos and what's not. Before monetization, a copyright claim is just annoying, but after monetization, it's a revenue issue. A lot of creators like to download, or at least get their start by downloading random beats on YouTube. Maybe they search free, royalty-free, chill hip-hop. They see the no copyright in the title and they think everything is good. But they don't check the description for any licensing terms. They don't verify who owns the track. And down the line, that's where problems can be created. They don't know if it's registered in Content ID or not. You just gotta make sure that you actually read the license that you're given so you can understand your rights. Because this is the thing. If you didn't read the documentation and understand your rights, and then 6 months down the line, you get a copyright claim, you don't remember where you got the music from, you can't find a contract to match things up, you're gonna be in a little bit of a world of trouble because you're not gonna have anything to help you dispute the claim. I understand that new creators may not be thinking this way yet. Inexperience is going to create disorganization, and that's cool. You're learning, you're building your system, all right? Let me help you build the system with some of the advice I'm giving. Now, when you get monetized, there's a bit of a psychological shift. Before you get monetized, uploading is just purely creative. You're doing it for the love of the game, and you know that you have kind of an immediate goal that you're working towards. After you get the monetization though, it feels even more strategic because now you're protecting it and trying to grow it even further and see how far you can truly take it. That monetization is that first barrier. And once you get past that, then you start cooking. Your channel stops being a hobby. And now it really starts to become an asset. See, now you start thinking about, okay, revenue per video, revenue, dollar per view. You start thinking like that because essentially you've now started to build an income stream. Now you start thinking about, okay, how can I stay consistent? How can I take this and make it stable, but also scale it even further and maintain the stability within the scaling? It starts to kind of become an obsession if you're really locked in. But the main thing that you're doing is protecting your momentum. And now you're feeling a lot more risk averse and a lot more risk aware too. The tiny mistakes don't really feel tiny anymore. A copyright claim isn't just annoying anymore. Because once your revenue starts getting blocked, you stop trying to cut corners and you start asking better questions. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about when you get a copyright claim, what you should do. First thing is, don't panic. Go to YouTube Studio, click into the message that's telling you that you have a copyright claim. Take a look at what they're claiming, confirm who the claimant is, and if you got a valid license, go ahead and get that ready. Click the dispute button. This is where it asks you why you're disputing. And so you should select the option that's gonna state that you have permission to use this, or that you have a contract or an agreement of some kind. At this point, you can attach documentation. Again, the license that we referred to earlier, if you have it available. Go ahead and submit that dispute. And then when you do that, it's gonna trigger a review period. Now, the rights holder typically has up to 30 days to respond. Again, like I mentioned earlier, under the penalty of perjury though, you have to declare that you truly have the rights to what you're disputing. And if you don't have the rights, this could, at some point, result in your channel getting deleted. They make you check the boxes and confirm that you understand this before you dispute. You don't need to panic, but you need to be careful. When not to dispute, obviously, if you don't have a license or if you truly did not have the rights to use whatever it is to use. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, and I'm not gonna sit here and even just break that down. Don't be a dick. Now, you got to understand and be careful when it comes to using, remixed material as well, because yeah, the producer wants you to use their remixed song that may be going viral on social media. They want it to spread as far as possible because it's how music works. People want it everywhere. Problem is, whatever they sampled, the underlying composition, may not be clear for you to use. So they're cool with it. But if they sampled Aretha Franklin, you don't think Aretha Franklin music is registered with Content ID, bro? And now, for all those of you out there that think you attorneys, fair use is a legal defense, but it's not a YouTube feature. You will still get claimed, bro. See, if you keep on disputing it and you didn't have the rights, at some point somebody could just issue a takedown. And I mean, at that point, they should be issuing a takedown because you don't have the rights to it. And when you get a takedown issued to you, that can lead to a strike. And we know that strikes can get your channel deleted. So this is just kind of like a never-ending loop. I'm gonna tell you why royalty-free libraries are the solution though. We start out from the beginning making sure everything is good. Pre-clearance, that's the first layer. Ownership, verified. This is before we distribute the music. Now, in my case, at SavageSoundLibrary.com, I make all the music, me and my collaborators. So it was pretty clear before I even came up with the idea. However, once I start to expand and bring in other independent artists' music, it'll all be pre-cleared with contracts in place before it even hits the beat store. You get what I'm saying? All the rights are gonna be documented internally, and we'll know which things are gonna be registered with Content ID and which things are not, and how we'll go about that. That's what smart libraries do. Some libraries choose to register all the tracks in Content ID, and then they just have to manually register everybody who signs up for a membership with them. Whether the library chooses to do the Content ID route or to do the no Content ID route, both of those are going to require structured systems. And since they have those structured systems in place, it makes sense why we charge, because you're paying for protection. And remember, we know how to whitelist. It means it's your channel ID, okay? Not email, not name, channel ID. You'll be able to upload free of claims. Also, don't forget that strong music libraries maintain very strong internal systems. Everything is going to be documented, all the purchases and licenses, which tracks have been used, discount codes, etc. There's always going to be a good paper trail in case you need help with anything. And I'm going to be real, Content ID is not the enemy. It may be flawed, but it's not the enemy, bro. It was built to protect ownership and to protect music artists. And as a music artist, I'm going to always be grateful for that. As a YouTuber, I understand the implications of Content ID, false claims, mistakes, issues, takedowns, strikes, and what it can really do to somebody's channel and YouTube career. And most importantly, their revenue and impact, because we make revenue for making an impact on people. So if we're not making an impact, we're not making revenue. We're not making revenues because we're not making an impact. You know how that happens? Channels being taken down due to copyright strikes and claims. Artists deserve to control their work. Producers deserve to get paid for their compositions. And labels deserve to protect their catalogs as well. And if there was no form of enforcement, then there would be no stability there. And if there was no real enforcement, then theft would be at an all-time high. You got to think about, YouTube is receiving millions of uploads every single day. There is no amount of human beings you could hire on the planet that could accurately track that by hand. So they have to have automated systems in place because they're just not going to have a human team reviewing all that, not on a daily basis. At its core, Content ID is a very positive thing. In practice, in reality, in execution, there are going to be flaws in the system, of course. It'll never be perfect. So really the issue is not the system itself. The issue is using music without structured licenses. And when you understand the rules, the system becomes predictable. And when you got predictable systems, they can be navigated professionally. Gotta remember, freshly monetized YouTuber, you are now professional. Now real quick, smart creators are gonna treat their channel like a business. And I know you're a smart creator because you clicked on this video and you're still here. And what businesses do is they document things, as many things as possible, everything if possible. And that includes every music license used for the content as well. Downloads should be saved in organized folders for easy access later. You feel what I'm saying? It's really about building the systems and making things easier for yourself now and in the future. The source of all your tracks should be recorded somewhere. And that way it's never ever a mystery about where you got it from in case you ever have to deal with a claim or any kind of issue down the line. Or if you just need to get some documentation for one reason or another. When you track your assets, that's going to remove the panic in a situation that you didn't expect. When a claim appears, you already know where the source is, you already know what to do to take your first step to start to handle that situation. And smart creators also control their sources. So you're not just going to be grabbing random beats from searches all the time. You're going to choose a platform that has some structure. You're going to choose a library that has clear policies. At least I hope that's what you would do. And I hope you have a long-term mentality and not a short-term mentality, just like rushing to upload. Remember, you're building this channel for the long term. YouTube is the #2 search engine owned by the #1 search engine, Google. This thing is going to compound over time as long as you stick with it. Basically what I'm saying, smart creator, is that the smartest move is not finding free music. It's building a system that you never have to question. Feel what I'm saying? So now that you understand the system a bit better, it's automated enforcement. So when you respect the mechanics, that's when you stop getting surprised. Using structured music is what's going to help to reduce your risk as a YouTuber. Just remember, when you protect your uploads, you are protecting your income, right? Monetization changes things. You need to be prepared for this new change in your life. Make sure you protect that income. I'm encouraging my smart creators to build systems, not shortcuts, not hacks, not loopholes. Build systems. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you only fall to the level of your system, okay? It's a proven thing. So you need to set things up for you to succeed. Make it easy for you to succeed. If you were trying to lose weight, the best thing you can do is keep the sweets out of the house. Keep the chips out of the house. That way, you're more prone to make a better decision when it comes to your food. Same thing happens in your YouTube business, content creation business. You gotta set yourself up for success. Make it easy to succeed. Don't make it hard on yourself. Now, if you're not ready for a subscription just quite yet, but you've been looking for chill, royalty-free, copyright-free, hip-hop or house or drum and bass music, head to savagesoundlibrary.com, enter your email, and I'll send you a discount code that'll let you pick up to 10 tracks for $7. All right? It's a one-time usage code. That's 98.5% off, and it's less than the cost of coffee. And if you don't want 10 tracks, it's cool. You can select less than 10 tracks. It's still gonna be 98.5% off. So it'll be less than $7 if you select less than 10 tracks. All right, Savage, out.